Hello, hello. Welcome to week 9. This week we're addressing chapter 9 in the Robertson text, which covers the Reagan to Obama era, which is a long period of time to try and nutshell. It's about 35 years. Those years saw the recrudescence of conservatism in the form of Reaganism, with two significant Democratic interregnums under Clinton and Obama. Robertson returns to the vignette format with a discussion of how federalism has influenced the shape of climate change. And in recent, days, you really get the sense that this is becoming a hard to ignore problem. The city to our south, Houston, has suffered 3 consecutive years of massive 500-year storms, and this is the fourth largest city in America. You've also had the devastation of the North and South Carolina coastline, which, especially with North Carolina, you've got huge amounts of sequestered coal ash and pig waste that probably has been kind of released as a result of this. There's probably going to be serious ecological challenges that is going to, face those states. And again, this merely highlights the fact that nearly half of the United States are vulnerable to the consequences of climate change. How has federalism complicated the U.S. attempts to manage climate change? Who are the principal adversaries driving, climate change politics? What states have led the way in advocating an aggressive response to climate change, and why? What states have led the way in opposing any legislative attempt to respond to climate change, and why? These are all questions we can and should visit in the weekly forum. A significant part of this chapter deals with the resurgence of conservatism as an ideological force in American politics, and conservatives' relative dominance over the 35 years that span Reagan's to Obama's administrations. I think this chapter really highlights the warp and woof of American politics, while also prefacing how we came to this pass, just hyper-partisanship. And to no small extent, hyper-partisanship has tended to produce a kind of hyper-federalism, in which both parties ruthlessly employ federalism as both a sword and a shield to advance their policy preferences and stymie the policy preferences of their opponents. So this week we have 3 assignments. As always, we have the forum and quiz, and then we have the fourth and probably final writing assignment, which focuses on an article dealing with regional inequality and how federalism tends to try and play that up. Look to the Dropbox in this week's unit for instructions. Let's have a great week and learn a lot from one another.